All right. Happy Monday again, Inspire Beauty. I am super pumped to talk to you guys today. Just after an incredible, I'm still shining, smiling, incredible weekend at New Leader Conference. And the coolest thing is I just sat in that seat, you guys, and I envisioned you guys being there next year. It can't stop with me. It can't just be me that went to this event and you watched it. I hope watching me at that event fired you up that oh my gosh, this is so possible. And I could totally be there too, because you can. I'm going to share the screen. I've got kind of a slideshow for tonight, but mostly you're going to hear me speak mostly from my heart, honestly. But I did grab a couple nuggets that I wanted to share with you guys. First things first though, when you go to an event, and you guys are all, if you're on this call, I'm 100% certain that you are going to be at Summit this summer in Indianapolis. And if you've either been to Summit before or this is your first time going, regardless, I know you're going to get there. You are going to get incredible information spewed your way. And then you're going to go home, and one of two things, well, there's three things that could happen when you go home. One, you could be paralyzed because of all the information that got thrown your way and you do nothing with it. Number two, you could do all the things, you take every bit of information and then you just run yourself in circles because you literally are trying to take every bit of knowledge thrown at you and attack it in a 24-hour period, which is just going to cause burnout and frustration. Or number three, a smart CEO, a smart entrepreneur, a smart business builder would go to an event, take diligent notes, and then come home and start to absorb it slowly. Start to say, that's one thing that I can do right now. And you know what? That's one thing that I would love to do, but right now might not be the best time. And so there are literally, I was counting, you guys, I took pages upon pages upon pages upon pages of notes in this thing. And not everything is relevant to tell you tonight. Not everything is even relevant to ever tell you, honestly, because that's the coolest part about this business is they brought in speakers for us, you guys, and they were so diverse. And so the cool thing is that Brittany gets to watch these speakers and listen to them and then say, that would work for my team. That would not absolutely work for my team at all. That works with my character, with my integrity, with my morals, with my standards, just with my vision and my mission in general, that works, or that's not in alignment with it. So that's the cool thing too, is I don't have to do all the things. So I'm going to tell you right now that trying to pick apart a couple things to share with you guys as takeaways was challenging. But I did grab some things that I think you guys need to hear, because when I heard it, I was like, money. First and foremost, Carl Deichler got up on stage on the very first night. And one of the biggest things he talked about, he was the very first person to get on stage. So this is first notes I got. One of the biggest things he talked about was that fear isn't welcome. That he knew that as new leaders at this conference that we would be sitting here and fear could overtake us. It's one of those things we never know when it hits, right? Even sitting here right now, you could have fear come into the room tonight while I'm telling you some of this stuff. When I'm stretching you, when I'm pushing you, when I'm helping you to take action, fear might start to weasel itself into your head. And I want you to write in whatever you're writing with tonight, big, bold letters, fear is not welcome here, because that's what I did. He said it, and I made it huge in my notebook, you guys, because I think it's so important that we understand that fear it'll be around. It might be in the car, but it doesn't get to drive. It does not get to drive, right? And I know Heather had mentioned on my team challenge post this morning that she appreciated hearing that it's not always easy to hit Success Club when you're not in the rhythm. For somebody who hits it all the time, yeah, it's a non-negotiable. It's kind of second nature. It's inevitable. But when you're first starting out in your business and you're trying to fine tune and just figure out how to get these wheels turning, it might not be that easy to hit. But the magic happens when you don't give up, when you don't allow fear to tell you that, oh, you'll never hit Success Club. This isn't meant for you. Wrong. So wrong. So this was the top of the night. And one of the things that he talked about that I was this is important to share is how big of a problem we have and the potential that we have as coaches to step in and help. And I think sometimes we get trapped in our bubbles because we look at the people that are on our feed or the people that we're following on social media, and they might be a lot similar to us. And so we don't maybe see the scope of the problem of people who are struggling with their health or struggling with their finances or struggling to find community or struggling to work on their depression and their mindset and just all that stuff. And we have massive potential. And he gave us some stats, and I appreciated these, so I wanted to share them with you. Jot these down. There are 57 million people in the USA that have a gym membership. 57 million people have a gym membership. And they're spending, you guys, on average, about $500 per member or about $40 a month. But that $40 a month, you guys, or that $500 they drop in their membership in the year, that's not even food. That's waiting in line at a treadmill, not really knowing what to do once they get on it. That's wandering around the weight room floor, trying not to look like an idiot. That's rolling out a nasty mat that probably has like all kinds of ringworm on it and doing a bunch of crunches, wondering why they don't see abs. That's not food. And it's not support. I got really like heated and just super electric this morning with my Team Cup message thread because they were asking about, is it okay if we just put somebody in a challenge group and they don't have Beachbody On Demand? And I said, absolutely not. If they can't have Shakeology because of a medical issue and then you've dug back and peeled back the layers enough to understand that, sure. But if you're resorting to giving them Beachbody On Demand only, first of all, shame on you because you don't believe in the potential. And I'm saying that with all the freaking love I have in my heart, but you don't believe in the potential of nutrition, fitness, and support when that triple threat happens. And maybe the potential isn't being bought because maybe you haven't actually unveiled the true potential that those three things have in your life, right? And so you have to understand, guys, this isn't it. I loved when he said this. Hold on. He said, this isn't a pretend business. We don't run pretend challenge groups. I'm not just this pretend coach. You guys, I'm not sitting in an office and I do this like pretend business all day. This is what I do for a living. I wasn't at a pretend convention, just hanging out in LA, like pretending I was at a convention. This is a real thing. And what we do is a big deal. And the difference between us, and I expressed this in my thread this morning with them, the difference between us and like an Herbalife or an Arbonne or other network marketing companies is that we actually do it. Like we take people to their goals, but you can't take somebody to their goal if they've struggled with everything and they're at the end of their road and all you're going to offer them is Beachbody On Demand. Because we already know that our clients that just get Beachbody On Demand are not invested in their full transformation. We know that I know statistically that Beachbody On Demand only subscribers do not participate fully in my challenge groups. I know that if somebody invests $160 in themselves as opposed to $38, that the person who invested $160 is going to actually show up a little different than the person that invested $38. And here's the kicker, and this is where I got really heated this morning with my group in like all love because I'm passionate about this because I believe in my worth and I believe in your worth. Imagine what you get as commission when you sell just a Beachbody On Demand membership. If they end up getting the year, you get about $30 commission, you guys. I want you to do some quick math with me. And let's just say they do one challenge group for just the month. They just do the month. If they paid if you got paid $30 commission to get them results, you're getting paid $1 a day. And I want one of you, I freaking dare one of you to tell me that my challenge groups are only worth $1. Because I don't think they are. And if they are, I need to up my game. But I don't think your challenge groups are only worth $1 either. I don't think your support, you get to like pour into them in ways that no one else in the world can. And you're going to get paid $1 each day for that? Really? That's your worth? Come on now, guys. Let's even multiply that even more. Let's say that You keep them in your groups the entire year. They got an annual Beachbody On Demand, and you said, sure, for 12 months you can be in my group. And they don't even renew the annual bod when they're done, but they stayed in your group for 12 months. Do you know how much you're getting paid a day? I just did it on my calculator. 8 cents. You're worth 8 cents. Your support to get them the freaking results that could change their life is worth 8 cents? No. You are worth more than that. And so, do you believe in the potential that fitness, nutrition, and support can have for somebody? Because if you've seen the fitness change your life, plus the nutrition change your life, plus being part of a community change your life, then there is no reason why you would ever, ever, ever give someone less than that. Because you know the power in it. But here's the thing, I said it at the top. If you don't actually fully invest in the fitness, fully invest in the nutrition, and fully invest in your community that you have, if you're not fully invested, you don't believe in the potential because you haven't witnessed it do that in your life, right? If you caught the National Wake Up Call today, and you guys, you better freaking watch Anita Myron. She is like somebody that I've looked up to since the day I started this business. She's amazing. She has not had an easy road. But every time her life got hard, and I'm talking about hard things that I've never once dealt with, she still showed up every single time. But the reason was because she saw the transformation and the light that Beachbody brought to her life. And so she couldn't help but pour that into others. Okay? It comes down to that belief. So that's the first one. I'm totally on my pedestal right now. So let's transition into this one. Helping one. I got another fun fact for you guys. You ready for it? Write this down. Did you know last year, 85% of brand new coaches, one of the first steps in your business, let me back up. One of the first steps in your business, when you're a coach and you sign a new coach on and this and that, one of the first things that we want a new coach to do is to help at least one person who is not their spouse or significant other, right? Because that's kind of like an easy win, right? I want you to help your first person that's not your spouse or your significant other, and I want you to help them get started on their journey so that you go hand in hand with them and you have some skin in the game because now you're helping somebody, right? And so that's usually our first goal as a brand new coach. And as you onboard coaches, I want you to give that to them as their first goal. I want you to help one. Who's one person that could join our challenge group, right? Like that's the question you should ask a brand new coach. But did you know that last year, 85% of new coaches never helped one person? That's a huge percentage. 85% of coaches that started in 2018 never helped one person. Not even one. What? Like, that is insane to me. And they gave us this, and this is my rally for you guys. This is my like cry. I talked about it a week ago, I think, on our Team Cup one, is like, don't worry about helping 50, help one. Like, figure out how you can help one. And then once you help one, like, seriously, help them. Like, that is your person, right? Help them get results. But you've got to start with one. The easiest close on a sale that you could ever do, you guys, if you're like, I don't know what to say, I don't know how to reach out to somebody, I don't know how to help one. You want a one-liner? Write this one down. I want you to do this with me. That's all you say. You say, hey, I'm doing this program and I've got 2 scenarios for you guys. So I love it because, we might be in one of the 2 places. Okay, so maybe you're in scenario 1 where you're crushing Transform 20 and you love the program and it's like you're loving it. It's awesome. And you could take Transform 20 and you could insert, I know some of you guys like your soulmate workout is 80-day obsession. You could insert that, like whatever your soulmate workout is that you've recently or currently are crushing. And you could, with enthusiasm, you reach out and you say, hey, Aunt Pam, and I'm using my Aunt Pam as an example because I used her in the past. Listen, I'm doing this program called Transform 20 right now. It's freaking incredible. I am loving it. It's kicking my butt, if I can be honest with you. But I just wanted to know, because we're getting ready to do another round of it, and I know that you'd love it, and I want you to do this with me. That's it. That's all you say. Like, let's stop overcomplicating things, right? That's all you say. You say it with enthusiasm. I want you to do this with me. And you talk about how it's changing your life. Okay, but let me give you scenario 2, because you could be sitting there right now and you're like, Brittany, I'm not crushing Transform 20. In fact, Britt, I fell off the wagon and I have been sucking at my self-care. So now how do I invite somebody when I'm not even doing it? I got you. Listen, you say the same thing. You say, hey, listen, I bought this pack. I don't know what I was thinking, but I bought this pack at the top of the year, and I had every intention of crushing this brand new workout that just came out. And here's the deal. I fell off the wagon. All of my sisters are crushing it, but for some reason, like, I just can't find the motivation or the accountability to freaking get this done. And I just want to so bad. And I want you to do this with me. Will you help me get these results? Will you help me stick with it? So see, you could be crushing your workout routine right now, and you can still ask somebody to do it with you. And you could totally have fallen off the wagon, and you are still validated to invite people. So please, if you're listening right now and you're like, I can't invite because I'm just not a good example of a coach. A good example of a coach is somebody who's also in the trenches. So get in the freaking trenches and ask somebody to hold you accountable for it, right? So helping one, I thought that was really important, especially when I heard this stat, and I wanted to share it with you guys today. Kim Carver, he's the one, you might see his face a lot on the Beachbody Champions page. He's the one that talked about that, and he took us through a whole new coach training idea. But the most powerful part about his message was at the end, and he talked about the story of the ugly duckling. And you might be familiar with that child, the children's story, but the ugly duckling was born and never fit in with his siblings. He just never fit in. And then one day, the ugly duckling becomes this swan. And I could get so emotional right now just thinking about it, because this was incredible when he did this. He walked around, you guys. He walked through our audience, and he told us that there are people out there who go through their life thinking that they don't belong, that no one wants them, that they don't matter, that their life is just over. It is what it is. And that it's our job to show them that they have this inner swan, that they do belong, that there is a community that will link arms with them and help them. And that the mission matters and that you matter. He talked a lot about that. But he talked about how, we get our Success Club or our Success Club system trackers out, you guys. And I'm going to get into this in about 2 seconds here, but we get this silly little tracker out, and it's just silly little check marks, right? Like, who cares if I responded to all new likes, comments, or views today? Like, no one will even know if I did it or not, right? But the reality is, because you do these things, you will then find those people that need you, that you can then make a difference in their life. So these silly little check marks, they actually do matter. Because those are the things that you have to do to make the difference in the world. And the coolest thing he finished with us with was that we get to do good. In this world, you might go to a job that you love, but maybe you don't actually get to make a dent on the world. Or maybe you go to a job that's exhausting you right now. And you're still trying to find that one thing. And the reality is, there's not many other industries that allow you to just freaking do good in the world. And this is one of them. So rather than overthinking every freaking scenario that's never happened, you guys, go help one person. Like, that's your goal. When you get off this call, the rest of this week, find one person to say, I believe in you, even when no one else does. Okay, let me keep moving. All of this, I had to tab my notes because it's all everywhere, all the things. Oh, this was also, so this goes back to Carl Deichler that he started with. And one of the big things was to stop focusing on the outcome. Beachbody is a 20-year-old company right now, and he never imagined that it would be where it is today. But he attests that he didn't worry so much about the outcome. He wasn't like, well, one day we have to be a multi-billion-dollar company, or one day we have to, do this, or one day I want to be. It was, I'm just going to do the actions that it takes to move my company, my business forward. And so a lot of times, we are an outcome-oriented team, of course. Like, I ask you to set goals, and we talk about what rank you want to be and what you want to achieve in the first quarter, what do you want to achieve by summit, what do you want to achieve by the end of the year. Of course we do that. But I think we need to put more less emphasis on the outcome and more on the action. Because if you, just like in the National Wake Up Call this morning, you guys, it's funny how this silly little piece of paper keeps coming back up. Who, in the comments, who actually can honestly say they use this every single day? I want you to comment with that, because I want to celebrate you. Who actually can honestly say, every day I'm checking this off? Because I want to promise you guys that the person that's leading your team right now has this silly little paper out every single day and is following exactly what it's telling me to do. You know why? Because there's not a dang top coach that I've ever met that doesn't do that also. And so if I want to be in the top, if I want to lead from the trenches, I've got to do the work, right? And that's coming from somebody that my coach gave me this for so many years, and I refuse to ever fill it out. So if you're like old Brittany and you're refusing to fill this out, get off your high horse, get out the ego, like remove the pride from the equation and say, maybe there's something to this, because I wasted so many years of my business not filling out that silly little paper. But the reality is, guys, it's the action that's going to get you places. So if you get off this call today, or if you're even sitting here right now on this call and you haven't taken any action in your business, I would almost prefer that you get off the call and go work your business rather than absorb more information. And I know that sounds really bold and harsh, and I'm saying this from a place of love because I know the power that action takes, and I also know what just simply absorbing information over and over and over again is going to do too without taking that action. It's not going to get you to your outcome, spoiler alert. Okay, cool thing about, one of the cool things about the New Leader Conference, you guys, was that a couple of the people that spoke, so Amy Rada, she finished number 5 in the network last year. I want to start with her story. Amy Rada started, and maybe I have a graphic that I can share with you guys. I took a lot of screenshots of like their presentations, and I might, nope, I don't think I grabbed hers on that particular one. No, she had a graphic of what can happen in a year and where her business went. You guys, she sat at New Leader Conference last year, a year ago. She was a new leader, quote unquote. Now, granted, at that time in her business, she had hit 5-star, but she wasn't, she had never done that before, so she was considered a new leader, okay? She was 5-star sitting at that conference. She left the conference and took massive action. But if some of you know her story, you might, if you followed her on social media, you guys, I like following her because she's a ex-teacher and I just feel like I vibe with her personality. She, right before New Leader Conference, when 80 Day Obsession came out, she fell down the stairs. She was prepping for a team call just like this, and she had stuff in her hand, and she fell down the stairs, and she had to be taken to the hospital in an ambulance. She like blacked out. Nobody was home. Ended up being able to like finally grab for her phone, and she couldn't move. That happened to her in January, right when 80 Day Obsession was starting, and she had to watch everybody do 80 Day Obsession without her because she couldn't move. Ended up coming to New Leader Conference. I'm pretty sure at some point about a month later, she found out that her and her husband were then going to get a divorce, and went through that nasty process from about February all the way through into the summer. In the summer, she came to Summit and moved her life, packed up her life where she knew it, packed up everything, and left and went and moved in with her brother in Denver. After that, she met the love of her life, and her life has started to kind of just like fall into place the way that it was. But something that's really cool is I watched Amy all last year show up every day, even when life was hard, and she'd talk about when it was hard, right? She didn't shy away from that. But the cool thing is, she owned her success. She stopped allowing others to tell her who she was, and she just started living out her passion without fear of judgment from other people. And it's just been really cool to see her journey, because she went from a new leader. She was sitting where I sat this weekend, and she finished as a 15-star superstar. That's the highest you can be in the company, a 15-star superstar coach by the end of this last year. She did that in 12 months time, you guys. Insane. And what's even crazier is she didn't actually hit 6-star. She came as 5-star. She didn't hit 6-star diamond until I think it was like April or May. And then it just kind of started to snowball. But that's what happens, is because women like you guys are all in the trenches linking arms, and you all have similar goals of like, I want to do this. This is where I want to go. I want to be my name. I want my name to be on the diamond banner when I get to Summit, or I want to be invited to New Leader Conference. And so the more of you guys that get together and do that, the more momentum happens. And then all of a sudden, like, we just pop all these people at the same time because you guys are in the trenches together. And so there's power in that. But I think, and the reason I put this on the screen, is we overestimate what we can do in a month. We get super excited about like, oh my gosh, February, I didn't have such a great January, but February, I'm going to rock Team Cup. I'm going to hit this SC goal. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that. And we overestimate everything that we can do. But what we underestimate is what can happen in a full year. Because if February doesn't go the way you wanted it to go, and you throw in the towel in March and you're like, this doesn't work for me, well, you're right. You're creating your future. But if you just keep showing up and take action for a full year, guys, there's crazy things that can happen. Crazy things that can happen. A year ago, you guys, in February, I want you to know that there were 2 names on the chart for Success Club. My name and my mom's name. My mom, I think, was at SC2 and I was at SC8, I want to say. So in total, we helped 5 people as a team in all of February. But I'd like to point out that although it said my mom's name, those 2 Success Club points came from yours truly. So last year in February, Brittany helped 5 people. Not a single other person on Inspire Beauty had any Success Club points in all of February. And that was a team cut month. I'd like to point that out as well. Right now, I want to point out that Erin has helped people. Leah has helped people. Amanda has helped people. Heather has helped people. Ashley has helped people. Sarah has helped people. I have helped people. Guys, do you see what can happen in a year? What if last February, I didn't get invited to New Leader, and I had been a coach now at that point for 4+ years. So imagine if, okay, I didn't get invited to New Leader, like kick my dog again, you know what I mean? And nobody else on this team is generating any Success Club points. Like, I could have had that mentality and I could have quit. Because in that month, when I wanted to see big things happen for our team, they didn't happen. It didn't feel like there was a team happening. But in a year's time, now I'm standing here a year later in February, and we only helped 5 people in all of February in 2018. And so far we've helped 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 people. 9 people. And it's only the 11th. We still have more than half of the month left. And we've almost doubled the amount of people that we've helped in a year's time. So we have to just keep going. And it goes back to that last slide of the action. If your outcome this month is, I'm going to hit Success Club, and if I don't, I quit, well, I don't know what to tell you. It's going to be, because that's going to be real hard to take with you and build a successful, sustainable business on. But if you're action-based outcome, I'm going to do everything on this tracker all month long. And I'm going to work really hard. And if I don't see the results yet, I know they're going to come because I have faith in what I don't see. It's just like our workouts. I'm going to keep showing up to my workout because I know that even though I don't have abs today after I did that workout, maybe if I keep showing up, maybe in a month or 2 months or 3 months, I'll start to form the body that I really wanted, right? Or that I feel comfortable or confident in. So again, please, guys, stop overestimating the month and start really looking forward at the year, okay? Another concept, let's see here. Yeah. Okay. Another concept that they talked about was just really the process of getting coaches started right. And then what happens, like after a coach goes through new coach training, and I hate to break it to you guys, but I've done new coach training in so many different ways. I've done it in message threads. I've done it on the challenge tracker app as a daily assignment. I've done it, I used to do it where it was like really condensed, where there were a lot of assignments, but it was only like 2 weeks. And then I've stretched it out over 30 days and I give people the weekends off to play catch up. I've done it on Facebook in units where you can do it self-paced. I've even created like a website at one point. You guys, I've done it in email systems. Like I have done every type of training for onboarding new coaches that you could possibly think of. The reality is a coach that's starting is either going to do it or they're not. And the more that I, continue to do this business, I realize that, right? They're either going to do it or they're not. And they're also going to do it in their time, not my time. So maybe month 1 isn't their perfect month, but there is a concept of like leveling up, right? And level up leaders to me for our team, what does that mean? That means that you're setting goals for yourself. That means you're showing up to team calls. That means you're tracking things. That means you have gone through the training, okay? And that means that you are also walking the walk. You're not just talking the talk of, yes, this is what I want to do, but you're actually showing up for it. That at the end of the month, you're hitting at a minimum SC5, that you're signing new coaches and going Emerald, that you have a date where once you're Emerald, that you're going to go Diamond by and that you're working on that. And so I think that it's important that, I take some time to really create those new coach threads, but then I also take time to allow people to decide, are you going to level up or are you going to just, I don't say just, but are you going to remain part of Inspire Beauty or are you going to level up and be part of our Business Builders page? And kind of give you guys those options. And so this is something where like my wheels are turning on how I can do this and how I can be better about this. But I think at the end of the day, the reality is, if you want to be a level up leader, if you want to build this business, there are certain check marks that you have to hit off, or that you have to be checking off, right? And for new coaches, you guys, if you haven't gone through new coach training yet, if you're still sitting there and maybe you did the first like week and a half, but you didn't do the full thing, or maybe you said, I'm going to do it in the challenge tracker app, Britt, and you never engaged throughout the month, then it's time to level up and do it again. I can't tell you how many times I did new coach training before it finally clicked. So go back and do it. If you're in team challenge right now, you guys, every single person who's in it is invited to do part of training that's on the coach training page. And some of you have already done it before, including myself. And the real kicker is that we all need to go back and redo it, because there are certain nuggets that I can take from it now that maybe in July when I did it the last time, I couldn't pull because I just wasn't there yet in my business, right? And so I think that's important. But if you're a new coach listening to this, or newer, or somebody who's like trying to start over again, you need to get going with new coach training and get that done within a month. In your first month of saying, I'm going to be a coach, or I am also going to revamp or renew my business, Success Club 5, find 3 people. All of you who are listening, if you are not Emerald, you should be Emerald in 7 days from now. It's not hard to go Emerald. Your spouse is your controlled business center, or your mom or your BFF or whoever that you can control that business center, and then one other person. Possibly that person that you say, hey, do this with me, right? You all can go Emerald within 7 days. You all could go Emerald tonight, and we can talk about that more as we go. But some of the onboarding processes, I think, and the expectations that we set as a team, I think we can raise the bar on. I know we can raise the bar on. We don't have to say, well, just try to hit Success Club. No, hit Success Club. Do it, right? Like, you can do that. Go Emerald. You can totally do that. And then once you're Emerald, stop putting Diamond on this freaking pedestal and start going Diamond, right? Like, we saw the power in how quickly Leia was able to make that happen when she simply just drew the line in the sand and said, I'm going to go Diamond. And she just freaking did it. Same thing happened with me when I got the kick in the pants to like just make Charlie's account Diamond. Like, just do it. And I was like, okay, I guess yeah, sure. Here we go. Okay. Like, you just have to draw the line in the sand. And I think sometimes one thing I want to do is I want to help cast the vision and share that, but I also need help from all of you guys that those behaviors, going Emerald, hitting Success Club, those are not pedestal worthy behaviors. Those are non-negotiables. Those are disciplines that we just do because we just do them, right? And taking them off the pedestal and making this community that's surrounded on action. Yeah. And the last thing I want to talk about is quarterly goals. And this is something that I've actually really started implementing quarterly goals for myself in my personal business. And I had this big aha this weekend that I was like, why am I not giving you guys the tools to set quarterly goals? And I've kind of done it a little with some of you, but I really want, as a mass, as a team, us to understand that we don't need to say in 2019, I'm going to go Emerald, or in 2019, I'm going to go Diamond. We need to start saying, in the first quarter, I'm going to go Emerald. In the first quarter, I'm going to go Diamond, right? We need to start making quarterly goals, because if we give ourselves the whole year, I've seen it time and time again. If we say, I'm going to go Diamond in 2019, no, you're not. No, you're not. That's way too long. 12 months to have 2 coaches, way too long. Way too long. That's way too long. You're either not talking to enough people, not inviting enough people, not displaying the business opportunity and coaching and just what it's doing for your life on your social media. There's just a disconnect if it's going to take that long. Or you're sitting back and letting fear cripple you, which is a sneaking suspicion of mine that some of you, that might be what you're doing. Quarterly goals, guys. That way you have this, there's this rush, right? Imagine back to the end of the year, when Leia and I were pushing for her to hit Diamond and for Charlie to hit Diamond, and this whole 1-star, 2-star push, and we were pushing for a new leader conference and all these things, our backs were against the wall because time was running out. It's the same concept when we're dealing with Success Club at the end of the month and I create these threads, and all of a sudden it's like our backs are against the wall. I'm like, I got to hit it. So I got 5 days. Let's go, let's go, let's go. But what if we started pushing that to the beginning of the year? What if in this quarter we say, this is what I want to hit? Not so that we can coast the rest of the year, but so that maybe the year can be way more than we ever thought possible, right? And so Quarterly goals, I want to start helping you guys not only just set quarterly goals, but envision what's to come in the quarter so that you're more prepared to have amazing launches or to attend conferences and retreats and things like that, but just so that you have more of a business owner mentality. So I'm going to be sharing this thing here with you guys on the team page, but this is just 12-week plan of what's happening in the first quarter. So Super Weekend happened, Transform 20 Coach Test Group, day 1 started, February is Team Cup, New Leader Conference, our Diamond Internship began today, and on the 19th, Fruit Punch Energize releases. Guys, on the 19th is not the day to start thinking about Fruit Punch and Energize, and this is where I'm going to get better for you, okay? If you want to, or not if you want to, but creating a email that you're going to send out to every customer, every coach of yours, every person that has ever expressed interest in your unicorn juice or your mom crack or whatever you want to call it, your liquid gold, you need to have an email that goes out on the 17th telling everybody what's about to go down so that you can collect their orders so you can set up sharer cards on the 19th. Does that make sense? If we wait till the 19th, you've missed them. And I know that, okay, but Brittany, they can order after the 19th. Yeah, I get that. But there is excitement around launches. Every time a launch happens, you want to generate this FOMO, this excitement, right? So Fruit Punch Energize is one that should be on your radar. How are you going to talk about it? How are you going to get excited about it? You have to physically sample it to be able to talk about it, you guys. And I know that you can't order it till the 19th, but you can harness other people's testimonies like mine, right? Like my coach just tried this at her conference, and like you can harness and leverage other people's testimonies. In March, you guys, on March 4th, if you start thinking about Portion Fix on March 4th, you're late. You're late. You're missing out on all of the people who you could be serving right on that day. Okay, keep in mind that the Portion Fix launches on the 4th for coaches only. They have given us a 2-week window, you guys, ahead of clients for a reason, so that we can order it on the 4th. And for 2 weeks, we can go through the video training series and we can be better equipped then when our customers purchase it 2 weeks later, on the 18th, I believe that is when it launches for customers. Let me just pull up my calendar real quick. But then we can be better equipped. Yeah, the 18th. We'll be better equipped to say, yeah, I've actually already started it, right? So if you're like, I'll wait till the 18th when my customers buy it, well, what kind of coach are you? Like, you're doing a disservice. That's like the teacher saying, I'll wait till the day of the test to figure out what I'm going to put on it. Or I'll wait to learn how to teach you that math till the day I'm going to teach it with you. Like, no, you have to be ahead of the game, especially as somebody who's trying to support others. Success Club trip is coming up the 24th through the 29th. Well, that's kind of wrong. Yeah, that's right, I guess. And then 27th is when quarter 1 qualification period ends. So if you're like, and I put that date because that's a Wednesday. So if you're like, by the end of quarter 1, my goal was Emerald. Well, you got till the 27th of March, right? And we're starting to close that gap. We've got about a month and a half, yeah? And so setting these quarterly goals for ourselves is really important. Some of us said we wanted for the first quarter to hit Success Club 5 at least every month. How is that going for you? If you miss January, are you just going to let February slip under the cracks too? No, right? And so think about what quarterly goal you had originally set for yourself. I know some of you did, and if you haven't yet, how do you want to end this first quarter? Okay, a couple other things just so that I can keep you in the loop. 21-Day Fix starts on April 1st, and that is going to be in live real time. I got to test out one of the workouts that will be, we did the cardio workout, and it'll be a great bridge. It's very similar to 21-Day Fix in the first week, but then as you go into week 2 and week 3, she does change up the workout so that it helps to kind of bridge the gap between 21-Day Fix and where 21-Day Fix ends basically and where 21-Day Fix Extreme starts. This is going to be huge, you guys. This is the program that changes everybody's life. When people start in a challenge group and they don't know what to do, one of the very first programs that we ultimately always give them, and I'm sure some of you can relate to this, is 21-Day Fix. Hey, I want to start my journey. Where should I start? 21-Day Fix. So if that is something that you're telling people, hey, this is something that this is the group I always tell you to do, that's the what, you're telling them what to do, then you need to start figuring out how are you going to be a part of it too, but also the why behind it. And that's where the certification comes in, you guys. You'll be able to get Ultimate Portion Fix certified And I was a little skeptic, if I can be honest with you. I was like, I don't know. Like, I don't know if I would really want to do that. But it was really interesting when she talked about it, when Autumn spoke about it, because it's that same thing. We're not learning anything about what, we're learning the why behind it so we can coach better. So the fix, actually, I took some pictures of it. It's pretty cool. It comes with, because if you've done 2B Mindset, you guys, and I've done 2B Mindset, there were some parts of 2B Mindset that I wasn't like, it wasn't my favorite. But they've actually done an even better job of developing this. So this book here is actually a workbook that goes right along with the whole video series. So you'll watch the videos. It's like a student workbook. So you fill it in when you watch the video. So you're learning right alongside of Autumn. And then this right here is the log book. And it's very similar to kind of how the Transform 21 is, where it has more than just your food that you're logging, but it talks about your emotions, your sleep, your just everything in general, right? And so it's more of like a journal than it is just a food logbook. Pretty stinking cool though. But to go on top of that is a certification. And the certification is basically teaching you the why behind it. So you'll have the videos that you watch as a client, as a customer, that go along with this workbook. But then there's also a coach video that then addresses the issues, the problems, the questions that your clients are potentially going to have and how you then talk to them. So it's basically making you a better coach. It's allowing you to talk about this in a better way, in a more educated way. And so anyone who's like, I don't know about that certification, guys, I'm going to do it. You're going to watch me do it. And I highly, highly, highly suggest you doing it too. It's just going to up your business, help you talk about it in a better way. And then one other thing I want to point out here, guys, is Super Saturday is in April. In Q2, I know that's not here on this yet, but Super Saturday coming up. Please mark your calendars and start searching for one near you. But guys, I started at the beginning of this, and I told you guys that this isn't a made-up company. These aren't made-up challenge groups. I don't just like go online and make up like what I'm doing. Like, this is a real thing with real money that you get paid and real people that you physically help. And this is, I'm sharing this picture because this is me in my workout with Autumn. I am a real person. You guys know me. Like, there's, and the reality is that woman that's standing right there doing like getting her butt kicked by Autumn, if I can freaking do it, you guys can do it. If I can set goals for the quarter and maybe hit them or maybe not, but at least take the action to get there, you can do it. If the Brittany 5 years ago who said yes was able to do it, all of you can do it. And I picked this shirt at the last thing I'll say before I close out of this is I picked this shirt. We got to have tank tops made, and they had different like logos you could put on the tank top. And one of them said inspire, not beauty. It said inspire something. It's killing me that I can't remember. And I was like, I should get the one that says inspire this. But then I started really thinking about it. And that's our shirt, and I have a bunch with the Inspire Beauty hashtag on it, so I feel good about that. But this really struck me, this one dream, one team. And for a long time, you guys, a long time it was just me. My one team was a team of one, even though there might have been other people on the team going back to even a year ago in February. It was one dream, one Brittany. And there were 5 people that were helped last February because there was only one Brittany. And there's only so far that my reach can go before it taps out. But when we collectively take this dream, take all of our collective whys, our collective reasons for being here, our collective passions and pursuits, and we combine that and we become one team with one mission, we're freaking unstoppable. So that shirt, I did that for you guys. And as a reminder to me that I want our team to be at New Leader next year. I'm already seeing our team duplicate things that I could never do by myself. And so I wanted to share that with you guys because I just thought that stopped me. It was so powerful when I saw that. And I was like, that's what I want on my shirt, because I want to remember, I want a reminder to myself all the time that it's not just me and it's not about me. And if it was, first of all, how selfish, but second of all, this would go nowhere. And so I have so much gratitude in my heart for you guys. You guys are the reason I got to go to that event. And you guys are the reason that other people will be able to go to these events in the future as well, if you just keep taking action. So before I cry anymore, Let me just click out of that. Oh gosh, so much in the chat. I love this. If anybody needs to unmute and ask a question, go for it. I'm just going to scroll through this.
This is kind of an off-topic question, but are you still using the Time Tree app?
No. I've been giving you guys the weekly happenings, I think, in the graphic, so I kind of stopped.
Gotcha.
There are so many things. I love this. Sorry, I'm just trying to speed read, but also make sure I'm not missing anything. Would that one be okay for someone who hasn't done 21-day fix? Did that one get answered?
No.
Larry, are you talking about would 21-day fix? Like the remaking of it?
Right.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah. And especially guys, like our new customers that are coming in who haven't, you know, done anything. Like she's, for example, in the workout that we did, she took like, it's exact same moves from cardio. So if you've done 21-day fix before, you'll know the moves. But then in week 2, she amps it up. So instead of a minute of, let's say, like the oblique picker things, instead of a minute of that, she does 30 seconds and then she amps it up with something else. So it starts to like make the workout just progressively get just a little bit harder. And then and then in week 3, my assumption would be that she takes like the harder one for week 2, which bridges it with a harder thing for week 3 and then goes on. So yes, absolutely. You don't need to have a 21-day fix background to be able to do it because she's starting right at day 1. Could a current customer become a coach and during the sign-up process get signed up to be certified? Yes. Yep, all of that, guys, and I'll get you those. Those aren't really released yet, but once all the challenge pack options come out, they will be in your hands of all the different options. But yes, and keep in mind, again, you can't be in the, like that's another good thing to an incentive is you can't be in the coach test group with Autumn if you aren't a coach. The other thing that is important to note is that there's a window that closes because they are remaking these in live time. If you don't purchase your ultimate portion fix by the last day of March, you do not get to be part of the remaking. Even if you're like, oh, but I just purchased it on April 2nd, you're late. There's a window and it'll close. So there's some urgency that'll go along with that too, you guys, okay? Oh, okay. I think I made it to the end of the things. Any other questions, comments, concerns? Who wants to be at freaking new leader next year? Yes. Leia, for a second there, it looked like a thumbs down because of the way your hand was angled, but I get it. You guys, here's the criteria, and I'm pretty sure it'll be the same. 1-star diamond. You have to hold 1 star for 6 weeks this year. You can do that. You can hold 1 star for 6 weeks. You know how I got 1 star? I got to diamond, and then I built my husband's account. That's why when I tell you to sign up your spouse, it is so important that they are there. Even if they're just a sitting stinking duck right now, it's so important because later on down the road when you're like gunning for a goal and you're like, I want to be there, that's what it takes, right? I'm certain that the new leadership ladder / road to elite is going to play into your qualifications for a new leader, but as it stood last year, you needed to be a 1-star diamond coach. And so as we're talking about quarterly goals tonight, when we close this out here right now, I want you to first like envision wherever you are. If you're sitting at Emerald, quarter 1 goal, guys, I'm going to push you. Go diamond. You can do that this quarter. And then by summit, like go halfway to diamond again, right? And so by the end of the year, now you're 1-star, right? Like set these big goals for yourself. But if you're a coach right now and you're like, I don't even know what she's talking about, do the coach training first of all, right? But Emerald in your first quarter. And then by summit, be diamond. And you know what I'm saying? And start to just push yourself a little bit further in these quarters than you would if you gave yourself the goal the entire year. Cool beans, guys? I love seeing so many faces on. Can I please take a photo tonight? And look at this. Katie is on. This is so cool. Katie, I've never seen your face. I love this. Yes. How exciting. Okay. And I didn't get the memo about everybody wearing like black sweaters, so I guess next week we should tell. Feel out of place with some of you guys. Okay. Fix your face and your hair. And I will snap a picture. Okay, for Katie, because Katie's a little newer on here, and some of you too. And Leia's old age, so I'll just have to remind her. It's 3, 2, 1, and then the picture. Just so your face is right. Okay, ready? 3, 2, 1, smile. Yay! I will get the recording up ASAP. Thanks, guys, so much for being on live with me tonight. And if you're Team Cup tomorrow, we will have a 5 o'clock check-in, okay? All right, take care, guys.